Hi and welcome along to ArsenalFanTV. It's time to look ahead to the big game on Boxing Day when Arsenal take on West Bromwich Albion. Now this is a massive game. We all know about the past couple of games, the defeat away to Everton, the defeat away to Manchester City, really damaging. You know, at one stage just before those games, we were top of the league, right? That was before the Chelsea game. We were top of the league and now we find ourselves in fourth place, 9 points behind Chelsea, and we just cannot afford to drop any more points. Now, you're looking on it and you say to yourself, West Brom, I was looking at a stat earlier, Arsenal, we've lost just one game in our last 11 games against West Brom, winning 8 of them and drawing 2. So that record against West Brom is absolutely outstanding, especially at home. We normally deal with them, but we cannot be complacent. First of all, let me remind you about last year, Boxing Day. How can I forget that really terrible performance when we went to Southampton and we never turned up? It was like all the players were still full of turkey and food, and it was a horrible defeat. We got beaten 4-0, and that was sort of one of them results that started to lead to Arsenal's downfall last season. So first of all is that. They've got to be up for it after the Christmas break. Secondly, you know, West Brom are going to know all about the past couple of games. They're going to know that the Arsenal fans are very fragile at the moment. You know, if it's not going our way, we might get on the backs of the players. So what Tony Pulis will do, which is something he always does, is he will come to frustrate. He don't care about attacking or whatever. He'll come and he will put everybody behind the ball. That is how they play. And he doesn't care if somebody thinks they're boring. He doesn't care if people think the performance is not great. If he can frustrate Arsenal and leave there with a point, it's like a victory for Tony Pulis, and he specialises in that. And they've got some very good players in Solomon Rondon up front. He's a top player. He could play for many of the top teams. And also Phillips, he's been really impressing me out on the wings. And we all know what West Brom are like from set pieces, which, remember, we haven't been dealing with set pieces very well over the past few games. The Everton game, our defending from, you know, balls being hitting from wide into the box, which is something West Brom will do, and also from corners, was atrocious in that game. Now, West Brom, as I said, this is their specialist area. And they've got big physical players that are going to, you know, be up for that fight. Arsenal really have to be up for this. And this is one of these games where it's a massive test. I remember last season when we played Manchester United away. Went away to that game. They had loads of players missing. We lost that game. It was a really damaging defeat. And then the next game after that was Swansea at home. And everybody was like, you know, if we win that, we'll be back on track. We lost that game. And it was like the beginning of the downfall. This game on Boxing Day reminds me a lot of that, in that we went away to Manchester City. They were missing quite a few players, maybe not as many, but they were missing some key players. We lost there. We've now got another game where we can bounce back. We don't want it to be a repeat of what happened last year. This is a time when I want to see certain players in that team. Players like Mesut Ozil needs to really step up in this game. You know, grasp the game, take it by the scruff of the neck, and really put a statement out there that, listen, the other past games was a blip. The manager, Arsene Wenger, is going to have to get his tactics right. He's going to have to get his squad right. You know, should he rest players in this game? I mean, listen, there's a lot of players that, you know, seem to run out of steam in that second half against Manchester City. So should he be switching it up a bit, freshening it up a bit? I mean, we saw that Oxlade-Chamberlain went off in that game. I think it might be a shout to include Lucas Perez, who, remember, he had that hat-trick in the Champions League, and then basically we've not seen him since. Now, I'd like to see Lucas Perez involved in this game. We need goals. He's quick, he's physical, and, you know, he'll be chomping at the bit to play in this type of game. And I think it's the sort of game where a Lucas Perez will be a very good player to bring in. Should we start with, say, Giroud? As I said, it's going to be a physical game. We're going to need, as well as his presence up front, somebody defending from set pieces. which we know West Brom, they can have a free kick on the halfway line, they'll be lumping it into the box. So should Giroud start and say put, Alexis Sanchez out wide for this game? This is where the tactical skills of Arsene Wenger are going to be tested in a game like this. This is the Premier League, right, where you come up against all types of different teams that have all types of different problems that you need to solve. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what sort of team he goes with. For me, I can't see us losing because it's a game we cannot afford to lose. So I do think we're going to see a response, and I think we're going to see a good response. I'm going to go for Arsenal winning this by 3-1. I'm saying 1 because I've just not got no confidence in us at the moment in keeping a clean sheet. That's another thing. We're not keeping clean sheets. It'd be great to get a win and keep a clean sheet and go into 2017 saying, you know what, this is what this is the marker now for this year. And we've got all these winnable games coming up. So this is a great opportunity to get off to a winning start. Win this game. Listen, it's not going to undo some of the wrongs of the past couple of games, but it starts to take steps towards that. Lose this game. Oh my God. I couldn't even imagine it. It would just be so much doom and gloom around the club. It would be just, no, I can't even contemplate it. We've got to win this game. So I'm going for Arsenal winning by 3-1. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. Also, interestingly from you guys, I want to know what sort of team you think we should go. Should we stick with the same team? That same team played really well in the first half of that game against Man City, in my opinion. Got the goal, was controlling the game. There's players like the pace of Theo Walcott, Iwobi, and that will trouble the defence of West Brom, which isn't the quickest. The midfield will trouble their midfield. What do you guys think? Or do we switch it up a bit? Do we change it up a bit? Freshen it up a bit? I don't know. I want you guys to tell me. Leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe here to ArsenalFanTV. Looking forward to the game on Boxing Day. Let's hope it's not like last year, and it should be really good.